हरि करना।
Welcome to the second module of welcoming to the terminal world. So, the second module of this is terminal multiverse bash scripting. Here we are gonna so far we have covered the basics of Linux system and the command line. Now it's time to start coding. So here we will discuss the basics of writing shell scripts, and you for this you need to know the following basic concepts that you see on your screen before you can actually start writing your own shell script masterpieces. So if we begin, what is a scripting language? A scripting language, or just a script language, is a programming language that supports the writing of scripts. So then what will you get it by writing the scripts? What's the benefit for you? A scripting language provides a higher level of abstraction than standard programming languages. Compared to the programming languages, scripting languages do not distinguish between data types such as integer, real values, strings, etc. And the most important point to be noted down is scripting languages tend to be good for automating the execution of the other programs. For example, analyzing data, running daily backups, this kind of information, these kind of activities. And they are also good for writing a program that is going to be used only once and then discarded. And now a script is a program written for a software environment that automate the execution of tasks which could alternatively be executed one by one by a human operator. So the majority of script programs are quick and dirty. So where the main goal is to get the program that's written very quickly. So now let's jump into the rules to write your first script, and that's it. So a shell script, basically to place a shell commands in a text file, first you need to use a text editor. Basically how to work with a text editor in Linux. This concept we have discussed just in our last session, the first module of welcoming to the terminal world. You just get back to that module and have a look on that. Okay. Now, so we have to use a text editor to place a shell commands in it. So now to create a file and then enter the commands into the file, we can use any kind of text editor. It could be a Vim, Nano, whatever you like, Geno, so whatever you like, okay? And a shell script is basically a file that contains ASCII text. Now, the most important point which should be considered when you writing your first script is, when creating a shell script file, you must specify the shell you are using in the first line of the file. What is that? The shell. Which shell you want to use, that should be specified in the first line of the file. The format is, you can see that on screen, it's a shebang, then bin and bash. So this is the shell you want to use. So that should be the first line of your script. Whatever script, how much bigger script you want to write, it doesn't matter. This is your first, this should be the first line of your script, the shebang. And then binary directory, in that you have a bash utility. You go and get it and you execute your file from there. That's what you want to tell. Then the majority of script programs are quick. As we know, as we have discussed earlier, the majority of script programs are quick and dirty. So basically there are a lot of lines of code to be written in a text file, so it's better you design it very well. You use some commenting and this kind of information. So that's what we are discussing now. In a normal shell script line, the pound sign is used as a comment line. A comment line in a shell script isn't processed by the shell. However, the first line of a shell script file is a special case, and the pound sign followed by the exclamation point tells the shell what shell to run the script under. So yes, you can be using a bash shell, and you run your script using another shell. It doesn't matter whichever shell you can use, but that's the way. You need a pound symbol to comment the thing. So because it's dirty, the shell script is dirty, the huge amount of lines are involved. So commenting is very much helpful in distinguishing the modules of the code in that script. Then after indicating the shell, commands are entered onto each line of the file, followed by a carrier's return. As mentioned earlier, comments can be added using the pound sign. So now, how will you execute your first script? There are different methods, and this is the normal way of executing your script. The path is an environment variable that we have seen in our earlier sessions, earlier videos. The path environment variable is set to look for commands only in a handful of directories to get the shell to find the script. For example, the script name you have written as test1.sh. Now, to get the shell to find the test1.sh script, we need to do one of two things. The first one is add the directory where our shell script file is located to the path environment variable, and then you can use echo and then dollar symbol and then path, because this path environment variable we have given the directory of the shell script file, so automatically it will run the file. And second one is use an absolute or a relative file path to reference our shell script in the our shell script file in the prompt. To reference a file in the current directory, you can use the single dot operator in the shell. Anyway, we are going to execute our first shell script within a minute, so you don't need to worry. So just brace yourself for your first shell script. So then the shell found the shell script file, because you have used two methods. Either of the method will bring the shell script to the shell. Once the shell found the shell script file, but there is another problem. What is that? What is that? The shell indicated that you do not have permission to execute the file. That's what. So a quick look at the file permissions should show what's going on here. So what will we do is, uh, obviously we will get an error, a permission denied. So now we have to modify the fault. So once the fault has been modified, then we can actually execute the shell again. So what will we do is, let's get into, let's dirty our hands, and then let's write our first shell script. I think this is not first for me, but this is first for you. Yeah, let's do it, and let's see what challenges we are gonna face with our first shell scripts. So I'll say vim, and then first script dot sh. Yep. So let me go into its, I'm in normal mode. Let me press I and enter into insert mode. Yes, I'm in insert mode. So now, what are the golden rule of writing a shell script? We have two golden rules, and first one is using a shebang, and mentioning the shell which you want to use, and then using comments. So let's begin with the shebang, pound, and then exclamation mark. Then I want to mention about the shell that I want to use. So that bin and then bash, this is what I want to use. Now I will give you a space, two lines of space. Then I will comment. I will enter my first comment, that is, this script displays the date and who's logged on, and also prints system info. That's what this is gonna do. Okay, so now let's begin our first script. So to make it look beautiful and elegant, what I will do is, I will decorate uh, I will decorate around each command. So first decoration begins echo, and I just want to print this line. That's it. And after that, I want to type, I want my script, my system to print welcome to the bash world of dash dawn. Welcome to bash world. Then again I'll close an empty space. So that's it. This is your first three commands. Now after that, I will add one more command, one more comment, saying that this, what it has to do is check who is the user. This module, the next module is for checking the who is the user. So again I will decorate first echo and then a line, then echo, one more decoration, space, one more decoration using colons, then who is the command to find out the who is logged into the system. Then again echo this guy is the user of the system. Then closing with decoration again. That's it. This is our second module of our first ever script. And then the third module checks the date. So echo again begins with the decoration. Echo again goes with the decoration. Then comes our main command echo the date. It's like commenting, but it prints what is going to happen. It echoes the line that I want to print. So the date of the system is, and the actual command is date, then again echo, and then I have decoration again. And then the third module is also done. Now we will go for the fourth module, that is to check system uptime. That is to check system. It checks the system uptime. Again decoration goes, okay, then echo the uptime of the system is, just a minute, I will add a colon, and then actual command, that's uptime, and then decoration again. This time it's colons. Yep, done. So now the last module of this, no, let's see, the next module of this is memory utilization. It checks memory utilization. Again let's copy paste the decoration and then add a information, memory utilization is, and the actual command is free and -m, it's option, and then close this with echo decoration. Then the modules are done. So finally let's put cd and then close it with line. So our first script is done. I hope you are following me and you are also writing the script along with me. So press escape. Now it is an extended edit mode. Then click shift plus colon. So here you can enter W and Q and then press enter. That's it. Your first script is there. Here it is. Here is your first script. That's a first script dot sh. So now let us try to execute this and see. So basically there are two methods, using path environment variable, or second directly giving the absolute or relative file path with dot. So I will try to use a second method, dot, because it's in this directory, because present working directory is this tmp scripts. So dot and then forward slash and first script dot sh. So what it is saying, bash first script dot sh permission denied. That's what I was saying. So here when I try to execute the file, the shell indicated that you don't have permissions a permission to execute the file. So now how can we solve this? So then how can we execute the file, execute a shell script? How can we do that? So for that, what will we do is, first let us have a quick look at the file permissions and see what can we do with and what's going on there. Okay, so for that, ls lrt grep, that's it. Here is your file and here are your permission. The first character indicates that this is a file. That's fantastic. Then a owner has a read, a write, but no execution. Even the owner doesn't have permission to execute. See, that is the condition. And then group members has only read permission, no write and execution, whereas others nothing. But here shell, owner is not going to execute. The shell has to execute because shell comes into others. See this part, the last part is these are the permissions that belongs to others. So shell has to execute this file. Shell is also in user and shell has to execute this file, but that to happen it should have a execute permission. It neither have write permission nor execute permission other than read permission. So what can we do? So how to solve this issue now? That's my question. Take your time, think and get back. Okay, so now, so what happened when this file was created? The unmask, the value, so was determined the default permission settings for this one. So because of this default permissions, it has given only read and read permission for the others. Now what we have to do is we have to unmask these permissions and we have to give execute permission for the shell, because shell comes into others. So you have to give execute permission for the others so that it can execute your file. So let me do, if you remember and recollect, we have discussed about the file permissions in our previous module. You just get back to that module and look into that. So we can use chmod, and there are two ways of doing it, either using letters or other ways numbers. So we will do with the letters first. O means others and add, plus means add a permission to others, and then what is that? Execute permission plus x. So O plus x, and file name is first script dot sh. Now let's check again. Here it is. So others, shell comes into others, so others got execute permission. So now let's execute and see what's gonna happen. Here it is. dot forward slash first script dot sh. I am going to execute. This is our first script, and this is the first time ever execution of Linux script or bash script in Linux. Let's see what's going to happen. Finger crossed. That's it. You got it. Your first script has been executed. So let's go up and we will look into the script. It's looking fantastic. It's looking beautiful, elegant. I love it. That's how you have to design your script. I designed my script such a way that, because after that, if I want to look back to my script, it should not look like dirty and ugly. So, as you like your girlfriend to be beautiful, your script should also be beautiful, my friend. So that's how you have to design your scripts. So this, of course, if you go through the script once, this is what our first echo. Welcome to the bash world. Then after that, we want okay, user, that we missed, maybe the command. Here only we got the echo. There is no actual command. And then we asked the date of the system is this. Then the uptime of the system is this. And memory utilization is this. And finally we closed it with a line. See one more time how nice it's looking. That's how you have to design your script. This is my own design. I like to design scripts well so that it looks well. I hope you got it, and you also written your first script with me, and you also executed your first script with me. I hope you enjoyed it.